All right, everyone, welcome to our weekly Essential Island Living team call. I'm super excited tonight for our amazing guest speaker. But before I introduce her, let's go ahead and do our protocol. So find the oil that's speaking to you. I have peppermint tonight. Go ahead and take 3 deep inhales, and then we'll do our affirmation. If you feel so inclined, place your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. I am doing the best that I can. All right. We are in for such a treat tonight. I know a lot of more team members are jumping on. Tonight's actually kind of a busy night for a lot of people. Just a couple of announcements that we went over on last week's team call. Don't forget so many things. Where are my notes? I know I have them. Don't forget that next month are a lot of exciting changes for the team. We are going to be having weekly classes, not just once a week, but twice a week. So starting the second week in October, we're going to skip Fair Weekend. We're going to start to have our weekly classes at Friends and Fair at 3 p.m. every Sunday. So someone from the team will be hosting and taking charge of the weekly class. Typically, it will be myself, Kanan, Kate, Aisha, and Keisha, but any or all of you are welcome to help with that and might be asked to if for some reason with all of our crazy lives and schedules, we aren't able to. My mom, Aisha, and I also got the opportunity at our family property in Kihei, the Nonolani Cottages, to start hosting a Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday starting in October at 10 a.m. So now, not only do we as a team have one weekly class in person to offer, but we have 2. So more information is going to be coming out about those. Aisha is working on our graphics. I'll be working on the Facebook invites, and it's pretty exciting. Starting next week, the format of our team call is going to change. One, Kanani will be hosting, so be on the lookout for her Zoom link because I will be on a plane. But we are going to do product education at 8:30 to 8:45, and we're going to want to start spreading the word to our team members, especially those who aren't active on social media, so that we can make sure that everybody is getting the support that they need. So our weekly Wednesday team calls are going to change. From 8:30 to 8:45, we're going to do product spotlight, and then from 8:45 to 9:15, 9:30 max to try to honor everybody's time and Kate's early bedtime. No, I'm teasing. We're going to do business education. So I'm really excited about the things that we're coming together as a team to really try to put out an offer. I'm still open to hosting online classes. But again, we've talked about the fact that if we're going to do that format, we have to have people showing up. So reach out to me. Our Oahu girls, Fraser has been taking off with her classes. She had a really successful class last week. And obviously, October 26th, all of our Oahu people should be turning up. Our team is running the kids booth there. So I definitely need some help in there. During either first or second shift. We'll talk more about this later. And then I'm doing the closing of that. I don't know how that happened. So, okay. So, yes, so lots of things happening starting in October. Wellness and Wisdom Wednesdays are going to start. I think that's what we're going with, um, online. And that way, everyone can get connected through the Zoom room for product education. I will post the recorded videos in our main Facebook team page. But realistically, you guys, a vast majority of our people aren't active on social media platforms, either of them. So we really need to start upping our game in terms of support. Okay, Kanan, anything I'm missing or forgetting? I feel like those are the two big main things. In October, be on the lookout though, because I'm not hosting the first two calls because I'm going to be flying to New York one day and then, oh wait, maybe I'm hosting one. Let's see. Oh, you know what? We're going to take the 9th off because that was October break. Yeah, we're going to take the 9th off. Schedules will be forthcoming for everything, so stay tuned. Okay, without further ado, I want to welcome our guest speaker, Ashely Kema. You can all give her a silent, because you're all muted, round of applause. I just have to say lots of amazing things before I let her talk, because in this business, we all know that our community is what makes everything that we do even more magical. We love the oils, we love the products, but this community and the support system is what makes it magical. And for myself, and I know that some of us are starting to experience it too, it's not just within this team that I've gotten to connect with the most amazing people. It's outside Crossline that I've gotten to connect. And Ashely is just a powerhouse. She is a mom of 3 very young girls, and she just gets shit done. And I love her energy, her openness, her vibe, her willingness to share. And she's just, I really don't know how she does everything she does. She skyrocketed in this business pretty quickly. I personally would say faster than the norm, although we know that there's some people who do crazy things like go diamond in 4 months. But Ashely walked silver one year at convention and the very next year walked as a diamond. So for all of you, for all of us here that know how much it takes to do this business and do this business well, you understand the magnitude of that accomplishment. I'm so fortunate to call her a friend. She showed up so hard cheering me on at the gala and has just been just such a great, like somebody that I really trust, that I go to, that I follow for inspiration, that's always willing to share. And so her upline is Noelle, and Noelle has joined us for a call, and I'm so grateful for all of the crossline connections. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to her. But we are so, so, so grateful for you taking the time to join us tonight and just share all of your wisdom with us. So thank you.
Liza. Hi, you guys. I'm actually really nervous. I talk to my team all the time, but you guys, I don't really know you that well, so I'm like, oh my God. But I'm so honored to be here, and I love that Liza and I have this open relationship and have built this relationship, I would say maybe over a year or so, Liza. And you guys, do you have friends that are outside of your team yet? Not your uplines, not your cross lines, but outside of your team. Because if you don't, it is so golden. And Liza is actually my first friend outside of my team, just because I have this upline, crossline, really supportive group. And I honestly thought I didn't need anything else. But when you kind of remove yourself and you kind of look at your team, like everyone kind of affects each other a little bit. And so there are some questions, and even just looking at different ranks in the business, that you want to kind of see what other people are doing outside of your team, because sometimes all you know is your team, and the people that you know is only your team. So there's just so much value to finding people outside of your team that you can get some inspiration from, and other people that are outside of your team at the same rank as you and even ranks above you, that you can kind of see what they're doing and where they're at. So I feel like with Liza and I was like, hey, what are you doing? How are you? Liza asked me one time, what are you doing? Are you getting vocal orders from other teams? And I was like, nope, absolutely not. And she was like, good. Thank you so much. I love that you have integrity like that. And I was like, oh my God, okay, cool. And she's like, how are you top enroller? And I was like, I'm just doing the things. I'm doing the classes, I'm enrolling people. She's like, oh, okay, cool. Me too. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, that's awesome. And I feel like we just kind of built that relationship. And I loved watching you walk at Gala, Liza. I was texting her a couple weeks before, like, hey, do you need a friend to go dress shopping with you? I just want you to know, like, you have a friend on Oahu if you need one, and I'm so sorry I didn't get to see you guys, her team at Gala. I was at the end waiting with my team for confetti because I walked that gala last year and I remember walking and by the end, like there's nobody there. And you're like, what do I do? It's so awkward. Do I finish this walk or do I just like go off the side? And so I wanted to make sure Liza had that full walk and she had that full confetti. And that's just such a beautiful thing that you guys can do as you start to build relationships outside of your team, you know? Okay. So anyways, I'm so honored to be here. You guys, I don't even, okay. Liza said, talk about time and how I manage it and maximize it. But okay, I guess I'll just kind of go into it, but you guys are like free to ask me questions.
But you are free to really share whatever you want. I mean, we have a lot of people with kids or without, and the fact that you've built your business, having multiple babies while going for dive in and maintaining it. So feel free to talk about whatever you want.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, well, maybe I'll just kind of go off of that and I feel like hearing another diamond story might be pretty inspiring to you guys. And I can definitely share how I make sure that I have time for my business. So when I first started, I had a full-time job. So those of you who have a full-time job, you're doing awesome. The fact that you're even here and you're showing up and you want to do this business because you see that there's something else out there for you and you have this future in doTERRA that can maybe either add more income to your family or can bring you onto a different path, right? And so I did start this business with a full-time job. And what I did was I came home after work, 9 to 5, came home at 5, and I worked for 1 hour every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then 2 hours on Saturday. And in that time, I was literally just working on my pipes. And I did not have that success check-in yet back when I started 3 years ago now. So you guys have that success check-in and you can measure what you should be doing every week and what you're checking off every week, where you're falling short so that you can fill that gap in the next week. Okay, so I started with that 9 to 5 job, working 1 hour after every single day. And whether that be working on my pipes or having a class, I made sure that I dedicated that hour. It takes a while to build your business. It totally does. You guys have to hold that belief. You have to hold that your reason why you're here and all that. And so I worked hard. I did 3 classes, launch guide, 3 classes a month, got 5 people to each class. I was enrolling about 8 to 10 people a month from the very beginning. I did have my upline help me teach my first 3 classes in the first month, which was Noelle, and you guys met her. And that was gold. I appreciate that so much. I feel like I maybe had her baby me a little bit too much, but it gave me that confidence to go ahead and teach my own classes. And so consistently, I've been doing that every month for 3 years, 3 classes a month, getting 5 or more people to each class, enrolling 8 to 10 people a month. After 3 months, I did hit elite. I was a little bit majorly stressed out in my current job. And so when I hit elite, I just saw that vision of like, okay, if I can hit elite, in order to be silver, I just need to do elite 3 times. And so I was like, if I can do elite, I can do silver. Talked to my husband, told him how stressed out I was at work and how much I believed in this business. And I actually quit my job and I ran into doTERRA as an elite full time. And then I just continued to do the same process. And, when you look at your day, when I looked at my day, the main thing for me was treating this like a job, treating this like a business. And so now that I am a stay-at-home mom, what I do is I make sure that I'm looking at my day from 9, I would say start a little earlier, so 8 to 4, because my family leaves at 7:30, get them out the door. My husband and my older one, she's 4, and then they come home at 4 p.m. So from 8 to 4, I am doing the things and making sure my business is a priority and treating it like a work day. And then I have my 1-year-old and my 4-month-old along with me on the side, and I'm definitely giving them attention and I'm tending to them. But when they're settled, I'm jumping on my desk and I have this desk area. Do you guys all have a desk area? Yeah. Okay. I'm jumping on my desk and I definitely know what I'm doing. And so if we're looking at how I manage my time and how I'm maximizing it, I'm making sure that I dedicate time blocks to doTERRA. And then as I'm balancing my kids, when I sit down at my desk and they're settled, I know exactly what I'm going to do. So my top 5 strengths, they're kind of out of control. But one of them is focus. And that is just, you set goals and you kind of look at what's necessary and what's unnecessary, what's going to get you to your goal. And so you're making sure you're doing the things to get to your goal. Futuristic, and that's visionary, kind of like seeing where you're going and you're working towards that every day. Do you guys have a dream board? If you don't have a dream board yet, it's really important, okay? Because you know what you're working towards. And then discipline is my other one, and that is just making sure I have order and structure, and I have a daily routine. And then achiever, which is productivity and making sure I have a checklist. And then competition. And that's more of like, with my team especially, I create a culture of winning and a culture of like, we're reaching ranks together. And I feel like those 5 strengths have definitely helped me in this business. But as you can see, it's a lot of like time, like scheduling and making sure I'm doing the things. Yeah. I'm like, okay, where am I going from there? Let that help me.
I mean, let's just talk a little bit though. I mean, there's so much goodness here. Let's talk about the fact that she worked full time, which many of us are, on this call. I mean, I worked full time the first 4.5 years of doing this business, but that it's making that time, making it a priority, treating it like a business. And I think a lot of times we want it, but we don't treat it like a priority or like our business. So, and then can we just talk about the fact that she said, so from 8 to 4 I'm working with my 1-year-old and 4-month-old, like just because, but what I love about what Ashely does and how she utilizes social media is that her life is her life. Her kids are on her hip or on the carpet or playing or doing whatever they're doing, and she's doing her, and she's right there and she's with them, but she's also doing all the things that she needs to from her biz. And so to me, that's really inspiring, because sometimes I feel like I cannot do certain things if my kids are around. Like tonight, they weren't quite sleeping. Normally they're sleeping by 8, but we just had a later night and I kind of left dad to fend for himself. So I came home and it was a little more rushed. And so I tend to allow myself to make excuses maybe, or get really overwhelmed and distracted by those things. So yeah. What else stood out to you guys? Those were my big ones. Kanan.
Balance, for
Okay.
sure, balance. Because I think it's always a struggle, because I work full time as a hygienist and I have the 3 boys. My husband is super supportive though. But I think balance is key. So when you said you designate 1 hour every day, it's true. If you do 1 hour every day, you can actually get so much done if you're planning that 1 hour to a T. So I think that's the best way to say, like, you're actually working it as a part-time job. And I like to say that a lot. So I do appreciate that, because you're able to really stick to your schedule, because that's what you designated, 1 hour and then 2 hours on Saturday, which is so nice. I need to do the 2 hours on Saturday for sure.
Some of the things that people often talk about is like what to do, and Ashely referenced this guide, and we've taken time as a team to go through all of these guides. But the truth is, you guys, you have to take it upon yourself to dive into these guides and do the actual work. And so this is what you do. And when I reflect back on it, I've talked a little bit about the fact that I went through a period where I felt like my role was to support everybody more than it was to go out and enroll. And I think that looking back, I think we've been maybe connected. No, I guess so, Ashely. Maybe a little longer than a year. But I think Ashely was an inspiration to me that like, no, you do all the things. Like you support your team, but you also go out there and enroll. And consistency is something that she talked about, that she had a class every week and she made sure to get 5 people there. And then from those 5 people, she was enrolling 8 to 10 a month. So a lot of times, we've talked about this recently too, is that when it comes to pipes, sometimes we spend so much time like maybe preparing, but then we're not doing the work of inviting, and then nobody's actually showing up. So then you can't really enroll anybody if no one's showing up to your event. So I highly recommend reconnecting with this, because I've heard Ashely speak about it several times, that this is what she did. She had this much time. So this is what the guide that she followed in order to get there.
Ashely, I have a question. Sorry, real quick. What's your primary, because you're a stay-at-home mom, but you work doTERRA full-time, but do you have a primary source of networking? Or is it kind of more social media or just spread out?
Ooh, right now it's social media for sure. But I feel like I've been networking my whole life. Like I turned 18 and got a job, was on my own, moved to LA for a couple years, and I didn't realize that what I was doing was I was networking, and I was going out and I worked different jobs. And when I started this business, I came in with this whole list of people that I was ready to reach out to. And if you guys probably have the same thing too, look at all the jobs that you've worked at, look at the different schools you've gone to, the different places you lived at. You have a whole network. And as now you're going into this next phase of your life in adulthood and being a mom, always network and keep making new friends. And when you're standing in line at a cute little coffee shop, turn to the person next to you and ask how their day's going. And then I also just see other moms around, and I'm just like, hey, I just say hi. I'm like, how old is your baby? And I just make friends. But right now, I would say, yeah, my biggest network is social media, and I've built a lot of that with other moms, other young moms that are in the same boat as me. Or Ange Peters has said this: your target market is you 5 years ago. And I can see that happening because now I have young moms, or like younger girls who have known who I am, but they don't have as many kids as me, or they're just like pregnant with their first child. And then they're like, Ashely, I want oils. So you 5 years ago is kind of where you want to be networking with. But of course, like with oils, there's no real, like you have a target market, but you can service every person, no matter how old or young. But but what I was going to say, you guys are so lucky that you have the Empowered Success Guides. I didn't have that. When Liza started, she didn't have that. You guys are so lucky. You have a whole like website on what to go through: live, share, build, launch. You have that video on natural solutions of how to teach a class. I, to this day, watch it over and over and over. The Empowered Success coaching or whatever podcast is there, and it's like 7-minute podcast. And I listened to that over and over and over, how to teach a class. One time I was like somebody asked me to come teach a class at a lash studio, and that was 2 months ago, and I was so nervous. I still get nervous to this day, you guys, teaching a class. And so on the way there, I was listening to that podcast over and over: how to teach a class, how to follow up. You have so many tools available to you. And so when I only had the launch guide and I was working my full-time job, I had 1 hour after every day. My husband would take my older daughter. I would go front and back through the launch guide. I'm like, what am I missing? What do I need to do next? And the beginning of the next month, go through the whole launch guide and plan my month again. So I just my launch guide is so bust because I would just use it every single month. Those of you who are Premier Silver, you're using that train guide every single month. And I've been using the Diamond Multiply guide. So, just the consistency again. And because I was consistent, I was able to reach elite in 3 months, premier in 5 months, silver in 9 months, gold 3 months later, platinum 3 months later, and then diamond right before my 2-year mark. And so I think probably that's one of the biggest things I can bring and show you guys is just that consistency and just making your doTERRA business a big priority in your time and in your schedule, and making sure you're showing that. And
I really love the emphasis on leaning in on the guides because as a team, we've done a lot of training going through the guides together. Um, but if I'm being really honest, it's not a tool that I utilize consistently. Like I need to get to a place where my guides are all bust too, because I do the things, you know, for sure. But sometimes I feel like something that you keep talking about that resonates with me is that like when you sit down to work, you have a very clear idea of what it is that you're going to be working on. Sometimes I feel a little bit more scattered. Like, and then when I feel like I have 3 or 4 different things, I tend to do what's easiest and put off the thing I need to do most or something like that. So I feel like I love that you really talk about leaning into these guides and using them as a tool to hold yourself accountable, like to plan and hold yourself accountable too. Because I don't know that, does anybody, I mean, let's just be honest, does anybody really use these guides consistently? Yeah, I'm guessing Ashley's team uses them pretty consistently. So,
Well, you know, mentoring, as you guys step into leadership and mentoring a team, it's honestly so hard. And it's like so much pressure on you. And like when you show up, you're like, okay, where should I start with you? Like in your mind, you're like, where do I start with them? How do I help them the most? What is going to be the best thing for me to share with them on this call to help them move forward and get to their goals? It's so hard. And so when you use those guides and then you duplicate it through your team and you're having your team train on that and you're mentoring them on that success check-in weekly, they're turning those in, then it just creates that duplicatable system.
what does your mentoring look like on your team? Like, besides your guys' weekly calls, what does it look like for you?
Besides the weekly call, I just do one team call a month. Um, I'm like, I do have an Instagram that is just for my builders. And I actually use the Instagram story and the posts to post what I'm doing in my day. Because I think one of my biggest things with my team is because I'm so open. I know Liza told you I'm open, but I'm like super open. And I will literally like record, this is what I'm doing today, guys. I've reached out to this many people. I'll screenshot my messages that I send to people so that my team can see, oh, okay, that's what she said. And, you know, some of them struggle with what to actually say to people. And so I'm like screenshotting, this is what I sent to these people, this is how I follow up. Here's a new enrollment. I just did this one yesterday. I screenshotted a new enrollment and I said, you guys, this girl came to my very first class. 3 years later, she finally was ready to enroll. Always, always show aloha. Show them love. Let them know that you will be here when they are ready. And they're like, wow, that's so awesome. You know, and so I do have that that extra Instagram that kind of just lets them see a little bit about how I do in my business, and I feel like it also holds me accountable because if I'm not doing my business, I don't have anything to share with them. So just that weekly mentorship, and then one team call a month, and it's usually just like a topic, and it's more really casual. I do make a PowerPoint though, and I go through some of the specials because when I explain what the specials are, they can hear how I'm explaining it so that they know how to talk to other people about those specials. And then I just do like one topic we talk, and then I do one celebration at the end, and then we have that one Instagram page. That's kind of it. I don't try to check on them every day, and they're resourceful.
Do you do any one-on-one mentoring with any of your qualifiers? Do your qualifiers do mentoring like one-on-one with their people?
Yep, I do weekly calls with every qualifier. We use a leadership agreement that's actually passed down from like the top wellness advocates. I use a leadership agreement that I hold them to, and I have them sign it and date it. And I say, these are the expectations of a leader. Is this something that you're willing to do? And every like maybe 6 months to a year, depending on each person, I show it to them again and I say, is this something that you're still like wanting me to hold you to? Because if they're telling me their goal is silver, then I'm going to be like, then that's a leader. And I want to hold you to this. And I want to make sure that you know what's expected of you as a leader. And they're like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So I do weekly calls with each of my frontline leaders. And then we use that success check-in and the rank planner, the same exact tools in Empowered Success. They do their weekly calls with their frontline leaders. As far as like extra builders in the team, I do a few extra calls in the week here and there, at least just once a month support for the extra builders and a half-hour call. But, yeah.
Thank you. We have DMO groups. I think I've kind of shared that with you. So more text-based. And then our Facebook page is, I try to put a lot of resources like that. Like, this is the text I got from somebody who I've texted invited to every class, never has said anything, and then all of a sudden wants to enroll, or definitely that kind of stuff. But this is good information for all of us as we continue to find ways to support each other and our teams and have that, duplicable and kind of trickle down effect. I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. You guys, and the best thing you can do with your team is show your heart and show your struggle.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the times, like, some of you have seen me on Instagram, and a lot of my team thinks they need to build their whole business on Instagram because it looks like that's what I do. And it looks like I have all my shit together and I have everything in place all the time. And so when I show them my openness and my heart and my struggle, it lets them relate to me a little bit better, a little bit easier. And then they're just like, oh, okay, she does have struggle and she still powers through and she does this. And I think that inspires them more. Sorry, Liza, what were you gonna say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 1,000%. I try to say it, but sometimes I feel like people think I'm full of shit when I'm like, you guys, I go through the same exact doubts that you do. I struggle with the time, with the meeting new people, with the getting new contacts. I'm like the worst person. Like, I could talk, like, at the gym, I like don't want to make eye contact with people because I'm dying, right? So like I just want to get in and get out. I don't want anybody to even know I'm there. So like don't mind the girl who can barely breathe doing CrossFit and hot Pilates. But so no. Well, because otherwise it would be a disaster. But I guess my point is that I feel I agree with that too. Like, the more that we're raw and real and vulnerable and, people know, but that we still show up, that we still find a way to power through. And then maybe some days we don't show up, but that's, that's life. So, I definitely would love to see that leadership agreement though. If you could email that to me or send that to me.
It's not mine. It's literally from, it's from, like, I feel like it's from Ashely Kema.
Okay.
Passed down all the way. Noelle passed it down to me. I'm passing it on to my team.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to see that. We are actually using Ashely Kema's, like, a lot of the plans from Diamond. From Diamond. Was she at your guys' Diamond retreat though?
Because she lives in Utah, so I think it was just easy.
Oh, okay. So she went to both. Okay. I thought she lived in Prague.
No, I think she lives in Utah. But then she has, like, her Prague, like, estate.
Right. A bunch of people are going to that right now.
She was saying, like, remember she was like, people, when she had her frontline leaders do mentor calls with her, they would be knocking on the door. Molly Dalton would be knocking on her door. And so they must all be in Utah.
They're in Utah. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for Ashely at all? Because I could just keep kind of picking her brain. I mean, although we communicate, it's more through like Instagram message and stuff. So I'm like, have all these great questions, but our ideas. Anybody else have any questions?
Verse too much. It's
yeah.
Just like here and there. Totally. By the way, do you guys know, like, okay, do you know that Liza's on the top enroller list of the whole company? I just want to make sure you guys know. She's freaking bomb. She's actually ahead of me. I'm so irritated. You're an achiever, right?
And that's your competition too. See, I'm not driven by that. You're so funny.
And I love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. Because I look at the leaderboard. I'm like, I don't know anybody. And like, what are they doing? Am I doing something different? And then I see Liza and I'm like, okay, we're normal.
You know what I'm doing? I'm doing what you told me to do, sister, a year ago when I was like, how are you the top enroller? You told me do the things. So I did the things and there you go.
Awesome.
I know. So Ashely and I will see each other. I earned the first incentive trip. So Ashely will be there. So I'm super excited that I'll have a friend.
3 more points.
Oh, sister, that's in the bag. Come on, your competition achiever would never let you not get the incentive trip. So
does anybody else have those strengths? Competition, achiever, yeah, futuristic focus.
So I love that you're talking about this, because I think maybe only Kate on my whole team has done the Strengths Finder.
What? Do you guys know who you are right now without knowing your strengths? You guys, your eyes will be open so wide. We learned about our strengths last leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It has changed our lives, our whole, like the way I see my life, and I feel like it's helped me so much. Like I'm like, that's the reason why I like need to do dream boards, because I'm futuristic and I need to see that where I'm going, so that I'm working in that every day. And then I help my team do the same, because some of them don't have that futuristic strength. So I'm like, hey, what are your goals? What are you working towards? What kind of life do you want? And they're like, oh, I want this, this, and this. And I go, well, you're going to need to work towards that every single day. Do not forget what you're working towards, because that's what's going to motivate you in your business. So as you guys learn what your strengths are, you're not only going to utilize that in your everyday life, your business, but you're also going to help others around you, not just your builders and your sharers and your customers, probably not customers, but the people around you. I had my husband take the strength test, and I've also learned my faults. It's called basements and balconies. When you're in, like for me, when I'm in my focus strength, when I'm in my balcony, I'm so focused and I'm like lasered in on what I need to do, and I'm getting there. But what is my basement? My balcony is that. My basement is like sometimes I'm so focused that I can't break out of it and just be present. So it helps me to be really aware of like what my life was like and what I was going through in my day, and what I wanted to be like, and so that I can either be in my balcony and break out of my basements. So
I haven't heard that before. Actually, I take that back. Aisha was at that leadership with me, so she did do that Strengths Finder, and I'm pretty sure Janice has, because Janice and Kate were at a school. Their elementary school had all the teachers do the Strengths Finder. Fraser's asking where you can find it. You basically can buy the book off Amazon, and it comes with a code for the assessment. And I forget how many questions it is, but you answer them it's sort of like love languages. You don't think too much about it. They present you with 2 options. You choose one of the 2. What I love about it is, one, they did revamp it. I got a couple messages from Gallup saying that they were going to be revamping it so the app would look different and stuff. But the app allows you to, if you pay for, I forget what it's called, the report is called, like an open report, you get all 34 of your strengths, and each strength comes with like a full-on description. And if this is dominant theme for you, what it means for you. If it's a lesser theme for you, what it means for you. doTERRA has a whole Strengths Finder guide for doTERRA, how your strengths relate to your doTERRA business. I agree with Ashly. I definitely need my husband to take Strengths Finder. I'm sure I would find out a lot about him, obviously, and also the dynamics of our marriage. But I really highly recommend it too. I've learned a lot from myself, and I've learned to kind of embrace things that maybe I thought were not good things to have. I talked about this, those of you guys that were here, right? For the Healthy Habits tour, when I did the business section, I talked about utilizing your strengths and how we don't want to have strengths envy. And I think some of the things that came out in my Strengths Finder made me feel like I shouldn't, that those are bad strengths. But really, there are no bad strengths. It's just how you use them and how you channel them. And then knowing the things that you're weaker in helps you to have a focus on where to develop yourself as well. So I highly agree with Ashly. The book is like the regular price of a book. You get a code to take the assessment, and then you can have access on the app. doTERRA has a plethora of resources. So I do highly recommend it before too, as well too. So here's the strengths guide for builders that I printed out from doTERRA. So it's really nice. All right. Anybody else have any questions for Ashely? Feel like she has bestowed so much wisdom on us. And the truth is, you guys, this is why I love having guest speakers, because some of this stuff we all know, but having someone else share it with us is powerful. Having her diamond story is crazy powerful. The fact that she knows exactly when she hit those ranks, and not just when, but how and why she hit those ranks. You can go as fast or as slow as you want in this business, and that's the beauty of it. But when you stop doing the things, when you stop showing up, that's when, you know, that is what really, really slows you down, slows the progress of your business down. And I can say that watching Ashely and knowing myself, although our strengths are not exactly the same, we both show up. The consistency is such a huge part of this business, and people get frustrated when they don't see the results, but it's because they don't do the work and they're not consistent with it. And so I just highly encourage you guys to lean into all the tools that you have, and your biggest tool is yourself. Figuring out what makes you tick, what makes you work, and then the areas that you need to kind of improve on as well. But anything else, Ash, you want to share with us? Like, I loved hearing your whole story. I love how you just shared, like, from your heart, but also just very honestly too. Like, if you want to be diamond, you got to do the fucking things.
Exactly.
Right?
That's how Liza did it. That's how I did it. Liza shows up. I see her showing up, and you guys are in such good hands. You have an amazing leader. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. I just want to thank you guys for having me. And again, you guys have such an amazing leader. So lucky. So make sure you guys utilize her, and make sure you tell her thank you. Make sure you send her the mentor call on time. You turn in your docs, whatever she needs.
I clearly don't have enough accountability because I don't make anybody turn in shit to me. So I need to, like, step my game up.
I'm like, don't turn in your docs because she doesn't need them. No, but
No.
you know, that may be something you guys want to look at. But you have to find the finder's test, because sharing that with her is probably the best thing that you can do for her, so that she can mentor you guys according to your strength. And it helps her to understand who you are a little bit more.
Yeah. I think we do a lot of, like, if you want it, it's here. And, you know, I don't ever want to be the person that's forcing anyone, but I also want to start to be a little bit more realistic people, that if they want success in this business, that they have to show up, they have to do the work, and we're here to help. We have all the systems in place. We're continuously refining them, making them better, having more to offer you guys in terms of support. But ultimately, you guys, and I tell this story all the time, and I know this is true for Ashely, or probably very true, like, because she's her, Noelle didn't have to help her build her business. She built it herself. Right? Is that true?
Are we talking about volume and, like,
yeah,
builders?
and like placing people on your team or builders or anything? Yeah.
Yep, I absolutely built on my own.
I've only ever had one person, like, placed under me ever in the whole. So.
And it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
I think because she didn't place anyone under me, I just knew I measured everything based on what I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't know that there was upline volume even available, because she was, like, doing the other legs. I didn't know that there was even available, but it helps me measure to what I needed to do, where I was, and I was just really real. I was able to be really real with myself. And there was a lot of months I didn't hit my rank goal, but that was all on me, you know. And so I just kept growing and kept adjusting and evaluating and getting better.
I guess too, I just want to say, like, if you want this, you will go out and you'll do it. You know, you'll do the work. You'll do what you need to do. You won't wait around for other people. I mean, Ashely's right though. Like, you know, She had Noelle teach her first 3 classes. We want to be here to help you build that confidence. And so, but like, I'm super proud of Frazier. I went up and taught 1 class for her, and then she had somebody who was ready for a class. So she just jumped in and did it. I'm still going to go and help her teach more classes, but there has to be a point where you go out and you just make what you want to happen. And so we're always here to support, and I'm going to look at that agreement. So don't be surprised if y'all be getting an email and then I'll be telling you to turn in weekly somethings to me. Yeah, I'm coming for you. No, I'm teasing. I'm not. I wouldn't do that. But I mean, I like the idea, and I do think that having more structured mentoring time would be beneficial. So for those of you that are on this call or watching this replay, if you want that support, we are here to give it to you. And at the same time, I think listening to Ashely has made me realize, like, I need to just also schedule that support with my qualifiers. Like, it's a non-negotiable. We have at least 1 private check-in, at least every other week or so. So, okay, we're gonna wrap it up. But if does anybody else have a question for Ashely or just want to say something real quick? Ash, you're such a fucking badass. I really appreciate you so much. I do love how honest and real you are. If you don't follow Ashely, Gold Drop Society on Instagram, and I'm just so grateful for you that you've always been willing to share with me and been honest and kind of dealt with my questions, because I've kind of built in a bubble too. And until you and really Noelle came along, I really didn't have anybody else that I was talking to about this business. So I'm so eternally grateful for all of the love and support that you've always extended me. And not been like, why is this crazy chick like messaging me again?
Wait, Liza, weren't you the one that told Noelle about how you can use vocal volume and put them in pockets where you need it?
Yeah.
That's how I hit ranks. I was strategizing and pocketing my vocal orders throughout the legs that I needed, and that's how I hit silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. It was all a vocal month.
Yep. I'm a vocal girl too.
But you're still doing the consistent thing. So even if you're in a BOGO month, you're still enrolling 10 people, so that when you hit that rank, you're not going back all the way down to like each or you're still building that pipeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, Liza, you are gold. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ash. Whenever I can return the favor, however I can, I'm always here to support you too. So incredibly grateful for you and our friendship. So thank you.
Thank you. And you guys can do anything. Thank you guys for welcoming me with open arms to your team.
No. Can we take a quick, we always do a quick little pick. So, okay. So ready? Yay. You can see it. Okay, your turn.
1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Okay.
I know some of your faces.
All right, everybody, as usual, thank you so much for showing up for yourselves, for your business, for this team, for this community. We all love and appreciate you so much. And without all of you, the Essential Island Living team wouldn't be what it is. Please stay tuned for, we still have a bunch of post-convention product reveal events. Friday night is at Kate's house, 4 o'clock. And then she's going to do another Living the doTERRA Lifestyle Overview class. That was a crazy huge success. I think there was 25, 30 people at the last one, something insane like that. So 4 o'clock, new product reveal, 5 o'clock, living the essential life with the lifestyle overview. And Sunday, my house, 3 p.m., new product reveal, 4 o'clock, essential oils 101. I think that might be all of our classes for this month, but we're gearing up into a really exciting month in October. New products drop the 1st. I am obsessed with adaptive soft gels. I literally texted Kanani and my DMO group, who has extra adaptives, because I'm not going to make it till the end of the month. So please be sharing, being of service to your customers, and sharing all the goodness that is the new products. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bye. Thanks, Ash.